What's happening, Nikita? This country. I see you. You stuck to the course. Keep doing your thing. They said prayers bring blessings. True believers keep it pie. Ooh. Keep it pop, keep it pop. You bless you doing numbers and you got them haters wild. They on the sideline, wish a nigga be in the game. This ain't for everybody, it's for the chosen. They say the sky's the limit, but we gon' shoot for the stars. Keep on popping, do your thing and go hard. Roll out the red card, welcome to the Keto Show. It ain't on, you gotta be in you when you really blow. Goddamn. Keto pipe it up. Keep on popping how you popping, that's the way to turn it up. She say it's cold where they from. She ain't gotta wear no coat. Business about our business, then she told me she the go. I told her go on pop it then. Go on do your thing. Put that pressure on to make her remember your name. Business minded about her paper. Real money maker, built this from the ground, growing up like an elevator. She told me keep her on a mission and she promised she won't stop. They say pressure bust some pipe, but Jesus make your whole life pop. Keep it pop, keep it pop. You bless you doing numbers and you got them haters wild. They on the sideline, wish a nigga be in the game. This ain't for everybody, it's for the chosen. They say the sky's the limit, but we gon' shoot for the stars. Keep on popping, do your thing and go hard.
Hello. Welcome to Popcorn Music Spotlight. Today we are talking books, and who are we talking books with? Can you give us your name?
Author Hezekiah Morris.
Hezekiah Morris. That's a spiritual name, right?
It is.
So what's it like being named after somebody in the Bible? And who is the particular person that you're named after in the Bible? Do you know anything about him? Have you done your research?
That's tough because he's one of the kings in the Bible. So trying to live up to that name.
Yeah, I agree. So what can you tell us about Hezekiah?
He was one of the greatest kings in the Bible. He was on his deathbed and he asked God to give him 7 more years to live so he can gain all of his treasures back that he had. He was a very, he showed all his treasures to the world. He used to brag about his treasures, all the gold and everything. And by showing everybody what he had, the other countries invaded and stole everything from him.
Oh, wow.
So on his deathbed, he asked God to give him 7 more years so he can gain all the treasures back.
Mm-hmm. You know, they speak a lot about that 7 in the Bible. I guess that's the number of completion, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you said that you are author. So do you publish books or do you write books? What do you do as far as books? I know authors write books, but I'm not saying, what do you do?
I do all of the above. I write books, I publish books, I help authors publish their books, I help them guys that I do book trailers, graphic designs, book covers, basically everything that does with publishing and writing books and stuff.
Okay, can you tell me what exactly a book trailer is? Because I'm into movies and you know we have movie trailers, so I know what a movie trailer is, but what's a book trailer? Is it the same thing or is it something different?
It's basically almost the same thing. It's trying to give you a little detail about what you have to show in the movie trailer, or like in the movie trailer, the book trailer is similar to what? Okay, the book trailer, I'm going to give you I'm going to paint a picture what the book is like and what it's going to be like and what it's going to talk about. Try to add these things in there to give people a visual of what you see.
Okay, so what you see in the book, so it's like a trailer for a movie, but it's different.
Yes. I think it's cool though, because like for me, like I do it a little different. I add a little hip hop, little scenes, little different things that sticks in your mind.
Okay. So with that being said, do you use actors and actresses to portray what you're trying to do? Is it like a mini movie, or what is it different about a movie trailer and a book trailer? What's the difference?
Well, we don't use actors in a book trailer. You can, but I use clips, little this and that. I might see internet with a picture, and I throw it in there on the book trailer to kind of give you a visual. But it's more like a book trailer for me. It's more visual. It's more something that will stick that you will see. It's not basically a movie trailer. You're just taking pieces of a movie and you're putting it into the movie trailer. The book trailer, you're actually creating this from scratch.
Okay.
And you're coming up, you're trying to use your artistic mind to do the book trailer. I remember when I started doing book trailers, I used to pay like $50 or $25 and get the book trailer back. And a different race on it than what I was talking about. I'm like, I paid $50 for this, and it's still not cool. You know, I'm like, man, I think I can. So I just started working on it, and trying to get it together. And then it was like, man, I got this. So I just started doing it. I started doing it for other people and stuff like that.
Oh, that's what's up. So with that being said, you told us you do movie trailers or whatever. It's my understanding that you sent us a movie trailer. I have one, right? I mean, not a movie trailer, a book trailer. So can you tell me about the book before I watch the trailer just a little bit so I can see if the trailer matches what the book is? So tell me a little bit about it before I watch the trailer.
Okay. The first one I sent was The Pastor's Son. And that's about this guy. His dad is, so he wants him to come back to take over his church, but he's into the world. So he gets back and he's dating this one female. I mean, he loves her deal and everything, but she's not ready for love. She's like, she just want to use him for her little boy toy. And he meets this girl in the church who he falls in love with, and they get to the talking. And well, she has some things in her closet too. Now, all while he's become associate pastor of the church. But she has bones in her closet because her ex-boyfriend has came back into town. And now he is it's getting wild. All the while he's
I couldn't hear nothing you said. You broke up really bad. You broke up really bad. I couldn't hear anything you were saying.
Okay, hold on. Let me stop. Oh. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I took the Wi-Fi off. You know, 5G sometimes work better than Wi-Fi, which is crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking that because it don't look like I'm moving. I'm watching it from the thing, and it don't look like I'm moving at all, and I am.
Yeah. So, can you hear me now?
I hear you now.
Okay. So, in the pastor's son, he's of the world. He has a brother that's in church, but his dad gets sick, who's pastor of this church. So the son comes back to town to take over the church. They have to vote him in. The church is pushing back. Well, he has this girl that he loves very much, but she don't want a relationship. She don't want none of that. She just want to be there. You know, he's like her boy toy. You know what I'm saying? So he gets into the church. He meet one of the sister's daughters. They started dating. Then her ex-boyfriend finds out where she's at. And now you got a whole lot of mess going on because he's trying to tear up and go through everything that's going on. So with that being said, you got a lot of chaos that's about to pop off while he's trying to build up the church at the same time.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what inspired you to write before we get into this trailer, because I'm actually checking devices right now because like you said, that one wasn't moving. So I'm gonna switch to something else. I'm switching to my tablet just so I can move because I am moving.
No, that's right.
So
yes,
tell me about what inspired you to write.
I was just thinking one day, you know, I was like, what if my dad would get sick and want me to come back and pastor his church? You know, hypothetically speaking. And I just came up with a whole story concept. You know, I gave a little back info of what Eugene was going through, the pastor's son, and you know how the church in these days and times are, and how the old people in the old church don't want to switch over to where the new generation is. So you got this pushback in the church. You know, they're fighting the old guard versus the new guard. And in this book, I'm trying to bring the old and the new together, but I'm also offering different ideas on how to make this church grow. And they pushing back at first because they know, but I'm like, in this book, I'm like, just because you will change your life, we can't look down on somebody who hasn't changed their life yet, as in the church, you know. And it says, and then it goes back, and I develop on people's past in the church. I said, before you came to church, you was a sinner too. So, and trying to build up the church and not kick it down is about, you know, going up and growing in the community. At the same time, you got other stories going on in his personal life. You know, he loves this one woman, but she don't want no relationship. And he's like, man, I'm the head of the church now. I got to find a wife. And out there, like, why are you single? You messing with this person and that person. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of chaos. And then when her ex-boyfriend comes to town, it's like, boom, it's on now. You know what I'm saying? Because he still got these little streets that he's still stuck with, you know, from back in the day. So now you got a full-blown war going on in the book. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm on 2 different devices, but the other one I wasn't moving, so I had to get my backup. That's why I have a backup nearby, just in case. So is this story loosely based off of you and what you went through with your father?
Some parts, yeah. Some parts, and then, you know, you talk about relationships and stuff like that, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get into this trailer. I have it ready to go over here. So let's see what this is about.
Who's getting your love? Who's getting your time? Tell me who told you to hit that gym and get back fine. Guess you forgot who talked you through it. Now you fluid. You better not be doing all those things that we were doing. You know what that is. You better not be talking about having no kids. Let's be for real. Don't tell me they reaping the benefits of my patience, my prayers, my favor. Girl, don't tell me you forgot who told you boss up, who bossed you up, who showed you a better way. I didn't lace you up just to watch you run away. Oh, who's getting on my love? Who's getting on my love?
Okay. I like it. I like it. So with that, you did all the visuals by yourself and everything, huh?
I did everything. Yeah, everything. Yes.
Really good job. I like the way you titled everything and how you let us know what was going on, who was the pastor's son. And you have you done anything with this one? Are you going to do anything with this one, or is it just going to stay in big book form?
Well, we're supposed to be doing a movie sometime later on this year to the book. And yeah, we're supposed to do the movie later on this year. We're going to do it at the beginning of the year, but I got some things that I want to do before, because I want to actually produce this one myself instead of getting an executive producer. And this, I actually want to fund it myself. So that's what we're working on.
So which city are you working out of?
We're going to do it out of Atlanta. I was going to do it in my hometown. I really wanted to do it in my hometown.
What's your hometown?
And that's in Lynchburg, Virginia. And I wanted all that. I wanted everybody that's from that city to be actors, to be in the movie. I didn't want nothing but the local talent there. That's me. That was me giving back. So I had a friend from there. We talked, and then we brought in the person that was supposed to direct the movie. So we're giving it to do the movie, and he's like, "Well, I don't want to get local actors. I want to do this big time like a Tyler Perry movie." I'm like, "Oh, that is not my vision.
That's not your budget either."
Exactly. And that wasn't my vision. My vision was to do local talent. You know what I'm saying? So we got, and then it was like some misinformation. I was talking to one person who I wanted to be the lead role. He didn't want her to be the lead role because she had no acting experience. I didn't care about that.
Right. You just like her look. She was what your vision for that character is. And as an actress, I tell people that all the time. You're not going to get every part, because when a person writes it, they have a vision of a person in mind, and you may not be that vision. But just because you didn't get it this time, don't mean you won't get it next time. And sometimes it's not about what talent the person has. It's better to develop talent than to get talent that's already developed, because you can pour into them what you want to pull out of them. So I get what you're saying.
Right. How many people have you known that they said they done met in McDonald's, they have no acting experience, but he fit that vision for that role? Like, this is the guy that I want. The dude for Menace to Society, Kane, the leading role, he was not the dude for that part, but he fit that vision. He didn't even have no acting skills. They had to get him an acting coach.
I mean, honestly, that's how I booked my very first movie, and I'm 12 movies in. My very first movie was, it wasn't an urban movie. It was a comic book film, and it wasn't, I hate to say it because I don't want to sound racist, but it wasn't too many people with my color in there. But I fit what they needed for the coloration. Went to Chicago, shot the movie, but I had no acting experience. I got booked for my first acting role as a model. So I took that, and look at me now, 12 movies in. Now I'm a producer, and I've co-directed a movie, and I've been a production assistant, and I've been an assistant director, and I've been a script supervisor. Everything behind the scenes around the camera and the audio equipment, I can do. Never thought I would be able to do all of that, but
congratulations.
I was one of those people. Thank you. And make sure you check out All About a Check Part 2. It's on Tubi. I'm in it. I'm in Part 1 too.
All right.
But like I said, I didn't set out to be an actress. I didn't set out to be a producer. I didn't set out to be a co-director or an assistant director. These things fell in my lap, and people saw things in me that I could do that I didn't even know I can do. But I was up for the challenge, and look at me now. I got those credits on my IMDb. So I agree with you. And if your vision is to use hometown talent and to self-produce, then do it. Because it wasn't a conference call when God gave you a vision. So make sure you move forward and make your project and not nobody else's. Because when you have a director,
that was the part. And you know what really ticked me off? Like, they were still trying to do the movie with the script. Like, dude, that's everything that came out of that script came from my book. So I mean, we can go to court on that if you want. You're not using that script. I don't care. It was like, we can change the names. No, I don't care if you change the names.
Oh wow.
The storyline came from my book. You see what I mean? The storyline came from my book.
That's why you have to really, really, really have your ducks in order before you even pass out a script. You have to make sure that people sign non-disclosures so that your property is protected. Because I've heard a lot, especially in the independent films. Luckily, I have not been cursed or blessed to work with any of these people, but I've heard a lot in the independent film where somebody that's trying to get on will share their story with somebody, and then that somebody will come out with a similar story. Luckily, me, I have not experienced that because all my people are real loyal and real close together. So thank God for that. But you do hear it a lot. So you have to be really careful, and you got to make sure you have your paperwork in order. Make sure you have everything copywritten. Make sure you have everything under non-disclosure so that can't nobody tell what your story is, because A may tell B and B may run off with your story. And A didn't know B was going to run off with your story. They were just telling a friend. But you can't come after B because B didn't get it from you, but you can come after A because you know A gave it to B. And A was under a non-disclosure, so they violated their contract.
Yes, that's right.
So what other books do you have out?
Oh, I got 7 more books out. I got my first book was Restoring Hezekiah. That was like an autobiography of my life and where I was at that point in my life. Then I wrote Restoring Hezekiah, Me and Only Me. That's more like that's dealing with relationships. That's like an autobiography too, going through relationships. And at the end of the day, it's still me and only me. And it talks about a man's perspective in relationships and how we hurt too, how we go through things too. Yep.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow. So have you thought
yeah.
into making that into a book? Because a subject that we can talk about on here, because I don't care if nobody still is, it's not something that I'm planning to implement anytime soon anyway. With that concept, I think that it would be a really good idea to make that into something that brings awareness to male DV, because a lot of men don't talk about domestic violence, and men are victims too. So I think
Yeah.
that's something with your autobiography. I haven't read it yet, unfortunately, but if you send me links, I will check out some of your books. But like I said, I think that would be something to tap into the male side of things. Even if it's just about your story, you can tie other stories into that and then make it like a series, and give the male perspective on a lot of things that women overlook. Because I feel like women lack education when it comes to men and emotions, because we were always taught that men don't have emotions. But as an adult, I'm learning that men do have emotions. They just suppress them because the world feels like they don't have emotions, especially Black men.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think
Yes,
that's
indeed.
something that maybe you should look into, because you're the author, I'm not. I try and make everything positive, fun, and we're gonna talk and bring out something in you're gonna bring something out in me, and we're gonna go from there.
Okay.
So okay, so you tell me about the book that's based off of your story, off of you loosely. What else can you tell me about that book? Did it heal you? Was it a healing process?
Yeah, I like let's see, remember them days when we was young. I wrote that one. That's about my fun and my childhood, hanging with my boys on the corner, different stuff like that, having a good time. Yeah.
So you would say that all your books are inspired by life experiences.
Yeah. Like stuff I've been through in life, different thing.
So is that how do you use your writing to express what you can't say out your mouth? Is that your outlet for
sometimes I do. Yes. I like to paint a picture. I like to paint a picture of what life is about, what we go through in life, and different things that we go through in life.
Where can I find your books? If I wanted to read one of your books, where can I find it?
Barnes and Nobles, 3,000 bookstores across the globe.
Okay. So how did you get your books in all those stores? Did you hire a distribution company, or is that part of your self-publishing company?
When different publishing companies, and then word of mouth, reaching out to the different companies, the different stores. Yeah.
So you do a lot of footwork.
I do a lot of work, a lot of going through things, and that's putting it all together.
Okay. So in the movie Unfair Exchange, I'm in it, of course. And ironically, the scene that I'm in Unfair Exchange, we're at a library, and I get my book signed by my favorite author. Is that something that you would do in real life?
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely. I always do that. I go to book signings all over the world. I go over to May 5th. I'll be at Grambling State from 10 to 12 p.m. I like that university. It's a nice university. So it'll be my second time going there. I've did like all the universities, basically all the HBCUs on the East Coast. I do that a lot.
So would you say that your target audience is young adults, or would you say that it's middle age, or would you say that it's older adults?
And anybody can read my books. Anybody can read my books. So it's for to give you a learning experience. I'm basically taking you through my life and telling you what not to do in life, the mistakes that goes on, the things that we go through as people and as Black people and any generation. So dealing with addiction, depression, everything.
So you went through addiction and depression?
Yes.
How did you overcome those things? For somebody may watch it, even if they don't watch it now. I leave my lives up so that they can watch it later. So,
Um,
how do you deal with addiction?
just by being, man, you got to be vigilant because every day you wake up, you know, you got to deal with it, man. Deal with the pressures of the world, and you just find other avenues to do stuff, other things to take you in place of whatever that drug was, and just
Mhm.
let's keep going. It's just one day at a time for me. Yep.
Okay. So was it like a heavy drug or was it something like marijuana?
It was heavy.
Okay. So you know what it's like to go through the withdrawals and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was
But it's
what was that
it's
like?
really not a withdrawal. It's the want to. You know what I'm saying? It's the
Mhm.
want to stop. It's not even a withdrawal. It's like I just can't do this no more. It's time to change. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. But see, you have a strong mind, so you are strong-minded. So it's different for you than other
Yeah.
people to where, like a lot of people get addicted to opiates because they feel like they need it for pain treatment, when really and truly some of that pain may be in their head, and it just may be
Yeah.
the drug telling them that they need that. Everybody don't have
Uh-huh.
a strong mind to say, I'm not gonna do this and I'm not
Right.
gonna do this. You know, some people they struggle with that. So what would be your
Yeah.
advice to somebody watching this live that want to get clean and don't know how to get clean, if you don't mind me asking?
You know, it's taking one day at a time, man. Just wake up, tell yourself I am somebody. I can do something different. I can be somebody. You know what I'm saying? I want to make a positive impact
Mhm.
as long as I live on this earth instead of making a negative one. I want to give back instead of take away. Because you know, when you're doing it, you're taking away from your family, you're taking away from a lot. And for me, I've took for so long
Mhm.
that when I did something positive, felt like I was giving back. But every day I wake up, I still feel like I haven't did enough. You know,
So do
no
you
matter how long, it still hurts. That pain is still there. Like I got a little girl, she's 19. You know, them years that we went through a lot because of me and my addiction, and trying to fix that relationship, it still hurts to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. But thank God she was able to see a positive change in her daddy.
Yeah, and we
Because we
still, we
all love our
still,
daddy.
and we still bump heads to this day. You know, it's like she doesn't forget, but I'm trying to. It's a tough thing.
Well, you have to come to the point to where you and her sit down and say, you know, you can't undo the past, but what are we going to do for the future? Because while she's
Yeah,
still feeling some type of way, you guys are losing time, and tomorrow's not promised. One thing we don't get back and don't know how much we have is time.
that's right.
So, you
That's
know, the
right.
time is now to fix things. You know, you can't undo the past, just like you can't unring a
Yeah,
bell, but we can work on the
yeah,
now and the later. So maybe you should
yeah.
approach things like that and, you know, try and find a middle ground, and maybe that'll help. Do you see yourself using the proceeds from your books or movies or whatever to do something to give back to help other people that may be dealing with addiction in your city or globally?
I do. Sometimes I go to meetings and stuff, and I do speeches and stuff. You know, but really, I haven't gotten to the point where I need to start doing something different. But I go to different programs and stuff, help out as much as I can.
Okay, well, that's a start. Something is better than nothing. I mean, you
Yeah,
never know. You might just say that right thing that'll save a life. You never know what you're going to bring to
yeah,
the table and what you're going to do to help somebody else. So don't give up and don't sell yourself short, because sometimes us being who we are, we inspire people to be more than what they would have been
yeah,
just by just
yeah,
being you, because you never know who's watching. I mean, I hear it all the time, how
yeah.
I inspire people, and I don't even be trying to do nothing but be me. But
Oh,
yeah, like I said, so you just gotta be you, take one day at a time and keep it moving. So in the
yeah.
near future, do you have any, well, you told me about your upcoming book signing. Do you have any books coming out or any movie releases coming out anytime
Um,
soon, or everything's just
I'm gonna try.
pre-production?
I'm gonna try something different this year. The Louisiana Perks is gonna be coming out in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Hmm.
The 608 Boy is gonna be dropping this summer. And then I got one called The Call Line. I'm gonna try to drop that in December. So I'm gonna try to drop 3 books
Okay.
this year.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you got a timeline. So I could be looking for them books in a
Yes.
couple of
Yes.
weeks, a couple of months, in a few months.
Okay. Yep. Hopefully the Louisiana Perks is gonna be out in 2 weeks.
Okay, you
That's
said a
about
couple. That's
you know
2 weeks is
it's
a couple.
All right. And you know, with the Louisiana Purchase, it's like, you know how they always have where the girl falls in love with the dude drug dealer, but this one is in reverse. The dude falls in love with the girl drug dealer, the plug. So
Don't put up too much. We want to buy the book, so make sure
yeah,
you let them know that there's a spin on it, and I'm gonna be looking for that book trailer
okay.
because I want to
Yes.
see
Yeah.
how you put this into the atmosphere. So
Oh,
make sure you tag me. Always feel free to tag me. That's one thing
okay.
that I do
Will
try
do.
and do. I may not post it on my page right away, but it will
Yeah.
be posted on my page because you were a guest on my podcast. So I try and support y'all even after the show because you never know who may be seeing your stuff just from my share.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, this page got 10,000 friends on it. I mean, followers on it, but my other page got 11,000 followers, and my other page got 5,000 followers, and my other page got 5,000 followers. So
Oh,
you put it all
wow.
together, you got about 30,000 people.
Ah, man, that's what I need to be. I'm telling you.
And that's just Facebook.
Yes,
I put the
indeed.
1,000 I got on TikTok that I don't be on, or the 1,000 I got on one Instagram, or the other 1,000 that's on 2,000 is on another Instagram, but I really don't be on those. But I do got followers over there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you not like I said, you never know who's watching. All About a Check Part 2 came out the other day, and I got a notification on my other page saying that 711 people viewed my fan page in the last day.
Okay.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, you know, so that's why I always put your best foot forward. Always look at the now. Don't focus on the past because we can't undo the past.
Okay.
So focus on the now and what your goals are for the now. So we can find your books at Barnes and Noble. We can find are your books on Amazon on Kindle version, in print, or either or?
Ebook. Yep.
They're both.
Ebook.
Okay.
Ebook and paperback.
Okay. So they don't have an excuse. Oh, I only got a Kindle, or I don't got a Kindle. They can get it both ways.
You can get it. You can get it. Yes.
And another question: do you have the audiobook versions of your books? And are you planning to get the audiobook version?
I got one that's an audiobook. That's Restoring Hezekiah, Me and Only Me. Audiobooks are good, but you got to get the right person to narrate it, and it's expensive too. So let's say I pay $800 for an audiobook and I only sell 2 books.
Woo, you took an L.
I took an L. So you got to be very careful on how you want to take your L and invest in your marketing and promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, you want to build your fan base up and, have a strong following and book reading support before you do that. Exactly. Like, certain authors, can do it off that because they know that book is going to sell. Like, I know if Joy Daisy King come out with something, I'm going to buy it. I know if Wahida Clark come out with something, I'm going to buy it. I have all their books. So, it's just certain series that you be looking for. Because I done read all the Thug books. I done read even the letters. I mean, I remember when she branched off and did, the characters had their own books. Like, what the heck? But I bought them.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking what your target audience is and where you see things going as far as your future with books. So I know you talked about the first book, the one about the preacher's son, that you wanted to turn that into a book and that you're in pre-production for that one. Are there any other stories that you plan on turning to books?
I got one now that's on YouTube. It's called The Player. I wrote the book The Player in Me, and it's based off of my movie, my book, The Player in Me. So that's on YouTube now. It's the 30-minute short. Actually, that's in the film festivals and stuff right now.
Okay. So with it being in the film festival, should it be on YouTube? Because I thought that you had to take them off of YouTube in order to enter them into the film festival.
No, you don't have to do that. Not with film festival. You don't have to.
Okay. So are you still, since you're going a different route with the preacher's son, are you going to still do it in Atlanta, or are you going to do it in VA, which is your original plan?
I'm gonna do it in Atlanta.
Okay.
Since they wanted to be so petty, they just took somebody else's dream to mess it up. So I'm gonna do it in Atlanta. It'll be cheaper for me, but I was gonna do it in my home. It was something I wanted to do, but in order for me, like, you know what, I'll just do it in Atlanta.
Or you can just cast some people from home and fly them out or drive them out to Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah. I might do
So
the
I mean, it's
leading
still an
the lead
option.
role like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that you can use the girl that God put on your heart. Because you don't want to cheat somebody out of an opportunity because
Yeah.
somebody else feels like somebody needs to be more seasoned. Me
Right.
personally, and I know a lot of people aren't gonna like me saying this, but sometimes I like being booked. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes when I
Yeah.
watch movies with similar storylines and see similar characters with the same actor, I
Uh huh.
kind of lose interest because of the fact
Me
that
too.
they're not bringing anything different to the table. That's why if you
Right.
look at my movies, you have to really look to see that it's me because I don't look the same. Like in
Yes.
Unfair Exchange, I got braids, and Correction, I got long black hair, and First All About a Check, I got red hair, and Second All
Yeah.
About a Check, I got brown curly hair with glasses. But I'm not the same
Okay.
person, and I'm not looking the same in every movie. I'm
Right.
looking different, so people will only know me by my name, and they'll actually have to look for me because I'm diversified as an actor. Like I got blonde hair
Yeah.
today, it might be black tomorrow, but I try not to look the same in every single role
Okay.
because then people will
Yes.
get bored with me, and that stopped me from getting booked.
Excellent. Great. Yep. You're right. You're right. It's always trying to, it's always trying to bring something different, new to the table. Something that, people get tired of the same old stuff. That was all I was trying to do. Like, you know what? We got talent in our hometown.
You do.
So, and for me, everything that I did and everything I went through is me giving back.
And for some people, their hometown is the last people to support them. So, do you know
Right.
how big it would be for you to tap talent from your hometown and put them on that big screen instead of going to the people that you know will sell? Now,
Right.
certain names you can attach to your film, and people gonna watch it because they in it. So, yes, I
Exactly.
recommend everybody getting at least that one big name to attach to your
Uh-huh.
project because all you need
Yep.
is one. You don't need a
Yes,
whole
it.
cast full of them.
And like,
So
and now, since it's not going to be in my hometown, we're going to try to get somebody from who plays in the BMF series to be the leading role in The Pastor's Son.
okay, well that's good. That's good. Congratulations on that. So
Yeah.
basically, if you get somebody out of the cast from BMF, then you're going to be
Mhm.
tapping into Detroit talent because BMF is filmed in Detroit,
Right.
and a lot of their crew and cast members are from Detroit.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's my second home. I got a couple of Detroit movies out. Love Pain
Oh,
and
okay.
Corruption. And Love Pain just hit Amazon, so make sure y'all check that out. It just hit Amazon a couple of days ago. I'm the bartender in that one. So, like I said, I wear many hats, and in that one, I got red hair too. I don't look like my face looks the same, but my hair ain't the same. And you can tell I'm a totally different person because I'm not doing the same look in every movie. But yeah, so check that out. I look forward to seeing The Preacher's Son. We're at 8:00. I know we started about 15 minutes late. Do you want to go the
It's
extra
fine.
15 minutes or do you want to end it? Okay. Just thought I would give you that option.
Okay, it's fine. Whatever you want to do, it's fine. I'm enjoying myself.
Okay, well that's good. So how do you get into writer's mode? Because you hear people talk about writer's block all the time and how they get like brain fog. So how do you overcome that?
For me, it comes in spurts. When something hits my brain, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I write it down. I might not even write that book for a whole 3 years or 2 years. I just write the name. I'll be thinking of something like, man, that would be a cool book. But how would I want to write it? Then it'll be like 608 Boys. I've been thinking about bringing that out for the past 2 summers, but I never knew how I wanted to go with it, which direction I wanted to. And then it'll just hit. And then it'll just hit. And for that next 2 weeks, I'm writing that story. But it's flowing now. It's like, oh, I got it. And I'm just writing. And after that, I'm done with it.
Okay. I asked that question because for me, I start them and I'll be off to a good start. And then, because I have like movies that I wrote, because I'm in the field. Yeah. So when you do the movies, the next thing is to do your own movie and to, do all that stuff. And you be the one picking it. Well, I do the casting and stuff anyways, but you be the one with the movie and the writer's credit on the movie and all of that stuff. So I started about 4. I have 4 that I started, but I never completed. And I just told somebody today, I was reading it to them, and they was like, man, that's a good story. You need to finish it. I'm like, you're right. I do. Hey, Tiffany Graham, welcome. Tiffany Graham is actually out of Atlanta. And she has a movie that we're getting ready to go in production on called The Cost of Love. She's doing a casting call for that. So if you look into network with somebody in Atlanta, that may be a good source. She also knows some people that she's working with in Atlanta too. So if you want to do your project there, it's good to have a team behind you and network with like mine.
I got a list. I got a list of things. I ran this. I got a list of all kind of movies that they're going to have here, and they're going to be having extras or whatever. I filled out for a couple of them and stuff like that.
But that's
it's starting to be a big movie city now.
Yeah, extras is a way to get your foot in the door. It's always good to be an extra because, I mean, once you get on the set, you get acting experience. You can use that on your resume, even if you're just in the background drinking a cup of coffee like you, or like me. You can still get that movie credit. You can still get in the mode. You still get to network with the producers if they're not stuck up and stuff like that. You're welcome. So it gives you the experience that you need. And it's good to sit behind the scenes and watch how things are done. Like you had a problem with the director. When you had that problem with the director, had you had set experience, you could have stepped in and directed your own movie. Right. You don't have to take a class to do it. You just got to watch what the director is doing, learn the dialogue, and know what your vision for that project is.
You right?
Yeah. So with that being said, are there any questions that you have for me?
So how long have you been doing your podcast?
My podcast is new. It's really new. Thank you, DJ J. Allen. It's new. I started in November, but then I stopped and I picked it back up in January. It's been on my mind to do for about 2 years, but I just never really did it. I had the concept to do it because I'm into music on the Southern Soul side, and I'm also into movies and writing and stuff like that. So that's why it's Popcorn Music, because I wanted to be able to tie the two together.
So a woman from Detroit is into Southern Soul? What?
I'm actually from Milwaukee. I don't live in Detroit.
Where them fans at? Where them fans at?
But yes, I'm actually into Southern Soul. And I'm in Milwaukee. I'm not in Detroit. I just do a lot of movies in Detroit, but I'm part of the Milwaukee movie thing. But I do branch out and tiptoe into Detroit. A lot of people do think that I'm from Detroit because I'm in some of the movies, and they also think our Milwaukee movies are Detroit movies, but they're not. Right now, we're trying to separate ourselves so that people identify us as Milwaukee and not just Detroit. We do use some of their actors and cast, crew, and all of that stuff. So, their talent comes here and do their movies. But some of our movies are Milwaukee movies. But yes, I like Southern Soul. I love it. And that song, they got a new one out now called Keep On Something. Yeah, so...
And you know what's crazy? I grew up in the country, but we never wanted to affiliate with the country. Like, growing up, I'm a city slicker though, but I'm still a country boy. But now it's blowing up now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I know some of my people got a show coming there. Some of my people got a show there in May, actually, for Mother's Day. They'll be in VA, some parts of VA.
Okay.
And it's Southern Soul.
That's
But Southern Soul is like the end thing now. I kind of helped open my city up to Southern Soul. So we have Southern Soul concerts here every other month now in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Midwest, But I'm down there in it. Like, I've been to a trail ride. I know what it's like to be boots on the ground per se. But the weird thing is, I can't get the line dances. They lose me on the turn. So that's the Midwest in me.
That's all we do in the country parties.
I know.
But
while y'all doing that, I'm gonna be sitting there because I'm gonna be hot because I ain't used to y'all heat. I'm gonna be back there popping my head, trying to catch some air to say where I'm at.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Well, we used to party in the field. But
oh wow.
I used to I'm about to bring back my podcast. Mine is called The Author's Lounge. It actually got nominated for Radio Internet Show of the Year, but it comes with a lot of responsibility, and I work too much right now to really. That's all right. When I'm gonna do my start date and everything, because it's a lot. You got to go and get that. You got to get the people to interview, and then you just gotta have everything together, not just boom. I'm gonna do this podcast, and we just want to do this show. No, I don't do that, and it's a lot to go with it. People don't know.
It is. And you know, me running 2 podcasts, because I have the Thursday night and the Sunday night, it gets kind of overwhelming. Wow. And I had one guest I had to reschedule because of the stuff with Angie Stone. I felt like it was too close to interview her bandmate now, because you know she just passed away a month ago, and I didn't want anybody to think that I was trying to capitalize on Angie's death. So I pushed that one back to January. Then I had a no call, no show. Like, he did text me after the fact and say, well, something happened. He had an emergency, but you know. So then I rescheduled yours because I had a migraine that day, and then last week was Easter. So we got it done. But I'm still booked out into July, like the 3rd week in July. So, I mean, the people will come. You just got to put it out there. And I'll interview with you. I mean, just because I have a podcast don't mean I can't support yours.
Exactly right.
It's
That's
just
what's
gonna
up.
be on the fact that I don't have one. I mean, that's how a lot of Black people don't grow, because a lot of Black people don't think that way.
Exactly.
DJ Allen P said congratulations to you, and he also said Southern Soul is the hottest thing in the world right now. I agree with him on that. But a lot of people don't grow because they don't believe in supporting other people. And when you support other people, the universe will support you.
Yes, definitely.
So you have to really, really look at the fact that me helping you ain't gonna hurt me.
Exactly. You see, us as a race, we still got that crab in a bucket mentality. Like, well, I don't want to see you I want to see you doing good, but I don't want to see you doing better than me. You know what I'm saying? And it's enough room for everybody to grow, man. Like, we still got a long way to go as a race, as a race, because I'm here in Atlanta and I see a lot of. I'm like, man, if we could just stick together, like, you know, no education, some people can't read, and just a lot of stuff going on that we try to hold each other down instead of boosting each other up. Like, hey, we can do this. You can get this job, or you can do this, or you can do that, you know? And then when it comes to our people, that's why
I asked about the audiobook, because a lot of people can't read, but they want to experience the story. That's why I was asking that question. And you know, it's really sad to see that. Huh?
Oh yeah. And you know, another thing that I see is when you have a business, they'll go spend that money with somebody else and spend a lot of it. But then when they come to you, they want to lowball you or not pay it all. Like, where they do that at?
Wow. Right. And you know, a man from China just recently exposed these big companies. I don't know if you're aware of it, but
it's been like that though.
Yeah. He talked about how you complain about buying the knockoff purse, but the knockoff purse is made on the same machine as the purse with the label. The only difference is that that label purse was sent to another manufacturer who put a tag in there.
Can I say something? Huh? Can I say something? This been going on for 30 years. They didn't say nothing that nobody already knew. We knew the same Jordans that they make, they make the knockoff ones on the same machine.
They do.
We've been on this.
Thank you, DJ Allen P. He said he's loving my live and he shared our live. He's loving the show. Yeah, we have, but a lot of people that don't. See, me and you, we would talk on a different level than a lot of people because of the fact that we're into knowledge. We're going to learn. So we're going to do that research and know that. But everybody didn't know that. I mean, it was news to a lot of people, but it's old to us. I'm like, oh, Ben knew that. But anyways, I don't know. Somebody want to visit me. I don't know why my nose is itching like the outside of my nose. Somebody want to visit me. That's what my mama used to say. Your nose itching. Somebody want to visit you.
and what we seen this weekend dealing with the NFL draft. They want us there, but they ain't gonna sit us at the head of that table. See, when Dion came in, he said, I'm going to sit with y'all up on my own table. No, you're still not welcome at the table.
Mhm.
We got to show y'all that we're still the most powerful people in the world.
And they aren't the most powerful people in the world, which is why they're threatened by us. That's why they try
That
to.
was modern day slavery.
Yeah, it basically is. I mean, what do you think the prison system is? Discounted labor. I mean,
Definitely.
because those companies have you making license plates and all types of stuff in there that they later sell. So it's big business. And it's basically built off the backs of African American people. But
that's it.
I tell people all the time, it's okay to be smart, but you don't want them to know that you're too smart. Somebody said congratulations to us, Jonathan. Jackson Adams said congratulations. So sometimes it's better to just, in the words of Young Guy, another Southern Soul artist, lay low and play slow. Because when you know too much, you become a threat.
Yes, definitely.
Yep. He said, DJ Allen P said 17 years ago, I was buying Jordans 3 pairs for 150 totally. Wow. That's how much they cost. They don't even cost that little bit for one pair now. They about $200 for one pair.
I've never been a Jordan tennis shoe fan. If I'm gonna buy something, it's like I wanted to match that outfit. And if I can get them $50 pair of shoes like that, I can get 2 more outfits to go with that shoe. That was my concept. I'm on my found a pair of Jordans at Marshalls. I got them for $34.
I never, ever, 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 ever. Now my kids have owned a pair of Jordans. I did buy my boys Jordans when they were younger, but me personally, I have never owned a pair of Jordans. I was more into Huarache. I was more into Air Max.
That's me.
But they was cuter to me than the Jordans. And even now, I buy a classic pair of Air Max in a heartbeat for the same price for my $100. Because I mean, all them too. But I'll buy a pair of classic Air Max. I'm just not. Yeah, they are from China. Prison is a multi-million-dollar a year company. I agree, DJ Allen P. But yeah, so I'll do that. But and even with what we talked about at the beginning of the show, with your spiritual name, some people, not all people, believe that the Bible is a form of mind control, which is why they felt like all people should know the Bible. And I'm a documentary fan, so I was watching a documentary about 2-3 days ago. Too. And the documentary that I was watching, it was actually on Tubi, and it just randomly started playing. It was talking, so it captivated me. So I'm watching it, and it was talking about how the Bible, the school system started so that people could learn how to read the Bible. That's why we have the public school system. A lot of people don't know that. Did you know that?
Nope.
I'm gonna have to send you the link to that program I was watching because it's still on my watch list. But it's like a couple of parts, and I think that was the first part. But yes, the school system was created so that people would learn how, all people would learn how to read the Bible. That was the original reason for public schools. And when they took the Bible out of schools, do you know the STD rate dropped? It went up, it skyrocketed. The crime rate went up, it skyrocketed. And unprotected sex and unmarital birth all went up when they took the same year that they took the Bible out of school. It all skyrocketed according to the documentary. Now, I didn't do the research, but it sounded right to me when I watched the documentary, but I am going to get to doing the research. But yeah, according to that documentary, all of that stuff skyrocketed when they separated church and school. So what are your views on that, Mr. Hezekiah? Because you have a biblical name, so I have to take it back to that.
Man. Has been born and brought up in the church and reading the Bible. For me, I'm more of a spiritual person now, if I can say that. Mm-hmm. I'm more in touch of a loving God. I'm more in touch of I know who Jesus is and who God is. I think the Bible is. Once you get my age and you look at the Bible, I think you really have to sit back in. If that helps you get well in life and to do good in life, I'm all for it. Mm-hmm. If you are Muslim and that helps you get well, I'm all for it. But for me, it's like, man, and I like reading certain parts of the Bible, but then you get into, like you said, documentaries and why they wrote this and how they took our culture and stole it from us in different paintings and pictures. And the person who actually sat down and King James version of the Bible was more to control the people back then, to keep them in line with the pagans and the Christians, to bring them together, because the pagan Sunday was on Sunday, so they made the church start on Sunday. The church is supposed to be on Saturday, but that was a pagan law. So now you got the pagans and the Christians mingled. So we don't even know if the Bible is right. But you got to think, King George was also, he had a homosexual lover. And he actually changed the Bible to fit his perception and population. So it's weird. And like, say we come from Africa, we get over here, here's this white man handing us a Bible. And now we got to preach this to our people. That's mind control. You know what I mean? So you telling me I'm a slave, but I gotta worship you because you're my owner? Turn y'all the cheek. You know what I mean? But I'm getting 12 lashes and I still supposed to obey you. Right. You kind of see what I'm saying? I think the Bible is more of a systematic religion, and spiritual is different, but I think the Bible is more of a to control culture.
From one of the documentaries that I read, the King James version of the Bible was never supposed to be public. And there are certain scriptures that were found, like the Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff like that, that are locked away. It's like certain parts of the Bible, like that are kept away in the Vatican that nobody has access to, except for the people in the Vatican.
Saying. They picked and choose what books to put in there. How can you do that? Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
That's why it goes from when he was 7 to 32.
Like the real Bibles were Jesus in them read. That was the Torah. We'd never seen that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to see what they study.
Right. But we'll never see that.
Never. Right. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? That might open up our third eye too much if we ever seen that.
Yeah, and you know what happens when your third eye is opened a little too much. So we're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave that alone.
That's a whole nother show, right?
That's a whole nother show. Like I said, you don't want to know too much, because when you know too much, they get rid of you. Look at Andrew Stone, look at Lisa Lopez, look at Dr. Sebi. The people that were trying to educate the masses are no longer here. So I try to just lay low and play slow, because I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't like.
Definitely.
So do you feel that religion would have been beneficial in the school systems today?
I think it needs to be put back in school. Not more of less religion, but a spiritual freedom. To let kids, at least to let kids know what's right and wrong and that there is a God. But on the same time, it still used to separate church and state too at the same time. You know what I mean? That's a big thing in the Constitution, church and state. And it's always going to be like that. It's always going to be that battle between church and state.
Okay, so you said there's a divider between church and state, right?
Yes.
So who owns most prison systems?
The big time politicians. No. I'm gonna tell you who owns the prison system. The people that sit in that county, who has that prison, the sheriffs, the lawyers, the judges. The state,
the people who work for the state own the prison system.
Yeah, the judges own the prison.
So if church and state need to be separated, answer this question. I'm not sure if you've ever been to prison or not, but what's the first
I've been in jail, not prison. Yeah, same thing. They own the jails too.
Yeah, they just bigger. What's the first book they gave you when you went in there?
I didn't get the Bible.
You didn't?
They come to give you one though. I didn't get the Bible. I just started reading my black books then. my little Earth
But
Jerome Dickies and my family. Here
but
they
they
don't give me
came
no
to give
Bible.
you a Bible. They're gonna give you a Bible, right?
Well, you're gonna ask for one. Nope, they won't give you a Bible. You're gonna ask for one.
Okay, but you said they come to bring you one though, right?
Yeah,
If
they'll
you
bring
want
you one for free.
for free. But the
Yeah.
other books you can't get for free, right?
No, you gotta order them.
So if church and state are separated, why is the Bible the only free book in the jail system?
It's supposed to be there to rehab, right? I figured I guess you can rehabilitate by reading that Bible.
So
Another
it's
thing of
church
mind
and state-
control. See what I mean? See what I
Yeah,
mean?
but so if it's okay to be in the prison system, why not give it to the kids before they get to the prison system? Is all I'm saying.
That's not big business.
Okay.
That's not big business. It don't work like that. We need them to corrupt now. We need to come to jail so they can spend that $1 a day.
I just said make it make sense. If church and government are separated, then jails shouldn't have Bibles either, or they should give children Bibles in school.
Which one is
In
big
public
business?
school.
Which one is big business? You
I
going to
know
jail
which one is
or
big
you learning in
business.
school? Because you learning in school, you might not go to jail. So we need you to be corrupt as possible. We need to get as much corrupt people as we can so we can have that revolving door.
In the words of Young Guy, I'ma just stay out the way, lay low.
That's big business. We need a revolving door like guns.
Mhm.
We don't get no guns now. How they get there? You see what I mean? You remember
Yeah.
all them guns? You remember when who was in office? Bush was in office.
Mhm.
An attorney Eric Holder, they sent all these guns to Mexico. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
So you see how many killings and wars going on in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
So we dropped them guns off over there.
Yeah. Just like the crack epidemic was caused by the government. Think something.
Right.
Hey, hello, Samantha. Boss Lady Croft just tapped in. She's out of Atlanta too. Sharon Green. Hello, my beautiful sister, and thank you. But just like the crack epidemic, that actually started with the government bringing cocaine over here. And I'm sorry, but I don't know too many Black scientists that know how to create crack. So
I know, right?
I get it. So somebody
Right.
had to tell them how to mix the baking soda in the beaker, because I mean, it's not too many Black folks that know it.
And a test tube, right?
She said, hello, Arthur. We're talking with Hezekiah Morris. He's an author out of Virginia, and he's looking to do some stuff in Atlanta as far as turning one of his books into a movie for those who just tapped in. But we kind of like off subject, and we talking about all types of stuff like politics right now. But yeah, so you know, the crack epidemic was created by government. Even in the Frank Lucas story, they tell you how the drugs came over from, you know, in the U.S. Army. So, yeah.
But do you know every country that we didn't went to war with? We went to Afghanistan. You know what Afghanistan's #1 product? The poppy. That's heroin.
Mhm.
Do you know when we were in Afghanistan? What was on the rise in the United States when we was in Afghanistan? Of drug use. Heroin. Exactly. But do you know the president of Afghanistan, his hair brother, is the drug lord of Afghanistan?
Yeah. Wow.
Go figure, huh? Yeah, go figure.
Yeah.
I know. I love the news.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm watching the
it pays
news 24/7.
It pays to be educated, so you know how to stay out the way. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
So you know how to
Exactly.
stay out the way. Because at the end of the day, you could be caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it don't got nothing to do with you. So it's best to know how to stay out the way. I just stay out the way. Like I said, I lay low, play slow, because it ain't my fight. It ain't got nothing to do
That's
with
just
me.
like I watch Narcos Mexico. I love that Felix Delgado, everything.
Mhm.
Well, everything took a turn from the worst when they killed that DEA agent, whatever. But he didn't kill him. But Felix, he was in charge of all the Mexican gangs. They worked under his rule. It wasn't chaotic as it was now. And the government backed him. But when the United States decided they wanted to lock him up, He said, you know what? Mexico would never be the same. These gangs are going to be out of control. Now look, they locked him up. Now look, El Chapo and all of them, they're out of control.
They are. I agree. But everything is about power and control. Everything.
It is. It is.
And how do you feel about these price rates that the president is implementing and these taxes that he's putting on these different countries? Do you feel like it's going to cause a recession?
You know what? Donald Trump ain't did nothing to us. So on and so forth. It's all these rich people. You know what? Them tariffs are what we need to do. We've been giving them countries stuff for free for the past 20 years. See, they don't tell you y'all think, oh, we tariffing them. Oh, no. Canada gives us a 25% tariff every time we buy pharmaceuticals from them. Mexico give us a 25% tariff every time we get steel from them. China, they always tariff us. So we giving all these other countries tariffing us. So why don't we get our money back? Because for the past presidents that we've had since Clinton, been giving everything free. Now look, it's out of control. Now we're broke. Do you know we made $2.1 billion in 2 weeks since the tariff started? Since the tariff started, you see what I mean? So everything that Trump is doing.
It's doing what it's doing, but they're saying that money came from the American consumer. Because, like stores like Shein that we shop at are all raising their prices.
No, you know how much, Shein is $1 billion company?
Yeah.
You know Temu is $1 billion company?
Yeah.
Because they sending out products here for cheap. So why can't we put tariffs on that?
Right. Well, they were
you see what I mean? Y'all making billions of dollars. Y'all making billions of dollars. Why can't we make some money?
That's true. But how is that going to affect the American consumer?
It doesn't. It doesn't. We just want something to complain. We just want something to complain about because we're too stuck on. We're spoiled.
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent.
We are spoiled in this country. It's not everything got to be our way. It doesn't work that way. Life isn't like that. What if we grew up in a third world company and we have no electricity, no gas? It wouldn't be like that.
Wow. I was watching a documentary the other day. It's an old I'm always watching a documentary, but it was talking about We Are the World. Do you remember that song? Back in the day?
Michael Jackson, yes.
Michael Jackson, everybody that was hot and pop back then was on that song. And, as a kid, I didn't understand why that song was made. But as an adult, when I saw why that song was made, and I thought about the commercials that I used to see when I was a kid, I don't see those commercials no more.
No.
I don't see the Feeding America. Since that song came out, I have not seen a Feeding America commercial with the African kids with the big belly and the flies. I have not seen that. And
none of it.
Upon doing my research, I realized that, they want us to think that Africa is still broke. But Africa ain't broke no more.
They ain't broke, no.
They're not broke no more.
They ain't never been broke. They ain't never been broke.
Yeah.
They ain't never been broke.
Very rich country.
Exactly. That's where everything comes from, Africa.
It does. But, back then they wanted us to think that. But, I haven't seen them. I can't remember the last time I seen the Feeding America commercial. So apparently the song did its job.
Exactly. Exactly.
And paid a couple of Americans too, because they didn't do it for free. It was for free for us.
I'll be working in these restaurants, man. Do you know how much food we throw away?
A lot.
And you know how many people are homeless that need food? I'm like, man, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think that when restaurants have food left over, I feel like it should be. Well, one thing I can say, some restaurants do. I've seen, because I DoorDash sometimes. I've seen what's Cheesecake Factory, like all their day old bread is donated to the homeless shelter. And I know because they use DoorDash to deliver it.
I don't like that either because I've been in a shelter before. What the stuff that they donate, the people that are at the shelter, they're not going to feed them people that. They're going to take their stuff home.
Wow.
You
And I just had
see
this
what I
conversation
mean?
with somebody.
You see what I mean? Like most of the
Right.
stuff that's donated to shelter, the good stuff never get to them people. The
Shout out to
employees take
Sasha Miller.
the employees go and get the first pick, takes it all home. That's supposed to be with somebody else.
Wow. That's sad because when I
It
delivered
is.
that stuff from Cheesecake Factory, they had really nice stuff. And I was like, oh, they're
Right.
gonna be eating good today. Because they had cheesecake and bread and all types of stuff. Because I
Yep.
saw him throwing stuff in the bag because I was early. And I'm like, they had really nice stuff because I synced it before he sealed it. And for them people not to get it, that's really heartbreaking. And I mean, they had big bags. Some bags was like 30 pounds a piece. Because I'm like, damn, I gotta carry
I
it.
think we really need to do an overhaul of homeless shelters and stuff like that, because it's a lot of stuff that goes unwatched and that is wrong. That's done. Like if I'm donating something, I want it to at least get to the people and not for
That
the
you
people
donate
that.
it to. And not the
Right.
greedy. You wanted to go to the needy and not the greedy. Shout out to Joshua
Exactly.
Miller Law from the Real to Real 360 show. You might want to hit them up and see if you get an interview with them too. They have a really nice podcast as well.
Okay.
And they're an award-winning show. If I'm not mistaken, they're 2-time award winners of the AMC Music Awards.
My email.
So, yeah.
My email is hezmor8522@gmail.com. Send me out a little link, man, and I'll hook up with you.
Okay. And let me post this up there so you can see the name of their podcast and all that stuff. And you can probably Google him for request him, all of that. Because like I said, my podcast is bigger than me. It's not like I don't have guests on my show to hold them hostage. I have guests on my show to elevate their career and make them be in a better position, because not only am I helping me, I'm helping you as well. And that keeps my blessings flowing. And that's why my show is booked so far out, because it's not all about me. It's about what we can do for each other and how we can support each other and how we can elevate each other. So that's that. With that, so reach out to them and see if you can set something up. I'm not sure what their schedule is though.
Awesome.
But yeah, with that being said, I really agree with you with that. I don't know if we should have some type of watchdog type system put in place, or if we could like set up some type of thing to where I know at once upon a time, my first love was cooking. So I am a licensed chef and I do have my food service. Everything I wanted to do, I did. Everything they told me I couldn't do, I did times 2. So I have a lot up under me. As you can see, I'm very educated. If you put it in a book, I'm going to find it. If you put it on the internet where it can be Googled and cross-referenced, I'm going to find it. You can ask me how to do something today.
You know what's so funny? When I first started writing books, I was in my hometown. I was drugs and everything else. And I decided to write that first book. And then one day I just went to work, was like, man, let me see what I can do with this book. I'm moving to New York. Everybody looked at me like I was crazy. They was like, oh, you need to stay your butt in church. You're not going to make it. You're not going to do this. Boom, 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 boom. You just going for the money. You're not going to do it. Let's see. 10 years later, seven-time author of the year. Did a movie. Been nominated every year for author of the year. Did over 200 podcast shows. Been to almost every major university on the East Coast book signing. And just get to live my life. I can go from state to state. I can move from state to state because it's only me, and I have fun traveling, and I love doing it. And this is what I love to do. So if that makes me a failure, I'm happy with being a failure. Just was on the magazine. Just was on a magazine cover. 2 weeks ago. I just got sent a trophy in the mail 2 weeks ago. Hey.
I tell people all the time, when God gave the vision, it wasn't a conference call. It wasn't a video chat with a video group chat.
Right.
It was between you and him. And you took the lead and he did the rest. But on that note,
that hasn't been easy. No.
It's never easy.
It ain't supposed to be easy. If it's too easy, why would I want to do it?
That's true. I mean, we don't give our all to things that's easy to us. Like, I have to tell myself all the time, like, people be like, how do you do so-and-so, so-and-so? I'll be like, oh, it's easy, blah, 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 blah. And I have to stop pause and say, just because it's easy for me, don't mean it's easy for them. Because at one point it wasn't easy for me, but I done did it so many times to where it became easy.
And see,
And a
that's
lot of
the
people,
thing, like, that's the thing when people come to me and they ask me these questions, like you saying, I'm like, dang, how can I explain myself? Because if I explain myself the way I do it, they're never going to do it.
they're never
And then
gonna
if I
do
give
it.
them an easier way to do it, it's still not going to work for them because everything doesn't work for them how you do it. Like your craft
Right.
is your craft. Only thing we
Right.
can do is teach, but it's not going to be easy because the vision that God gave us, He didn't give them.
He didn't give them. And the doors that God put in front of us to open, He didn't give them. My journey is
Right.
my journey. Your journey is your journey. Some of our journey may meet along the path, but at the
And
end of
that's
the
what
day,
kills me.
it's not the same.
That's what kills me. People see where I'm at. And then they think they can just get in a game and they can be right. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work
It's
that
not,
way.
it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that I put into it. And then they think just because you get it, oh man, I can do this, I'm gonna do this. It's so easy. But then when your book ain't selling or nothing like that, how you feel now?
Right.
Or
'Cause
when
it's
they
not
try to go
easy.
too fast, or when they try to go too fast, say somebody call you like, well, I need you to do this. I'm like, all right, but I'm not gonna get to that right then and there because it's like, I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's not that. And then they go
Right.
bust and get somebody else to do it. Now you're stuck with that person because I'm not gonna help you now.
Right.
So you're stuck. So if your marketing and promoting doesn't go well, that's on you. You got to. I did my own marketing and promoting. I promoted myself because I was going to be the best version of who I was. I got on the pavement. I went to store. Can I put my book here? Can I leave my book here? How much is that book? I went to barber shop. I got turned down plenty of time, but every time I got turned down, I went right next door and everything opened up. You know, I had that no give up mentality, and people see our success and think, "Oh man, I know if he can do it, I can do it."
I can do
My
it too.
life ain't that
And then
easy,
they
buddy.
expect you to give the blueprint of what you did so that they don't have to do the work. But
Do the
even
work,
if
and
I
I'm not
give it to
doing that.
you, you're not
You
going to
gonna pay
gain
for it? How
muscle.
about pay for
You're
it?
not going
How
to
about
gain
pay for the
muscle from
blueprint?
that.
How
Because you
about pay
want
for
to,
the blueprint?
you're not going to appreciate it if you don't do the work. That's like me wanting muscles, but
Exactly.
not going out to exercise.
Right.
I'm not going to
I
get
can
muscles
show
that
you
way.
how to do it. I can show you how to do it, but you're gonna pay for it.
Mhm.
And they don't want
That
to pay
part.
for it, so they right.
That's true. That is so true. But that's why I say all the time, you have to get it for yourself. Now, I can point you in the right direction. I can tell you what to do, but I can't give it to you. One of my
Right.
favorite philosophies from the Bible is, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, but if you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. So
That's
I'd
it.
rather teach you how to fish, and you could keep doing it your way and learning and adding to it and perfect it
But
your
see,
way.
they
And be
don't want
able
to
to
learn. They don't want to learn how to fish. They want you to give them a piece of fish.
Well, they ain't gonna get no fish from me. They're gonna be
Right.
hungry then.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to teach myself. I taught myself. I published my first book published was The Invisible Woman. I sent you that book trailer too. I just made that up the other day. Yeah, The Invisible Woman.
Let me get it so I can send it over. You can keep talking. I'm still here. I'm just pulling it up on the
Yeah,
other
I did The Invisible Woman. That's my first book published under me. That was I thought it was gonna be so hard to do, but it was so easy. Even though I fought with Amazon about the size of the book cover, but I did that on my own. I was like, man, how am I gonna do this? But I did it. I set up me a little account. I did everything by myself. And it worked. And it was I was like, uh-oh, they in trouble now. And I still Amazon will pop up. Amazon will pop up every 3 months. Royalty check, royalty check, royalty check, royalty check. I ain't got to do nothing. It goes straight to my account. It might be 64 cents, but I still get something.
But you still get it.
Right, exactly. And I ain't got to worry. You know, that's that blessing. I ain't got to go through nobody. I go right through me now.
Right. And it's better that way because you don't have to worry about watching the middleman or making sure the middleman is, up to point and all of that stuff. It's better to know, even if you don't know it all, to just know a little bit. So can't nobody tell you anything.
And that's the crazy part. You see people be holding up books, hey, let's put this book in that book, and you ain't getting no money. You're like, nah, this ain't working.
That part. But like it's all a learning experience. And each one should teach one, but you have to be teachable in order for me to teach you because I can't just give it to you. I have to I can teach you, but I can't just give it to you.
Exactly.
You got to do some of the work because nothing was given to me. So it's not fair to me to give it to you if it wasn't given to me.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I don't care if you go and talk about it. I'm not gonna give you nothing for free. It just doesn't work that way. Nobody gave me nothing for free. I had to work hard for it.
Mm-hmm. I know the feeling. Okay, so with that being said, you just told me about a movie, another trailer that you have. So
Yes,
I'm gonna get into that now. What can you tell me about this trailer before we get into it?
The Invisible Woman is my that's my first paranormal romance. It's about a ghost. Her name is Delilah, and they have a relationship. Well, Delilah's dead in this book, but they got a relationship that's going on. Nobody knows about. It's a true story.
So it's like
I was dating this chick nobody knew about, and she was from a place that I'm known at, and so I decided to make a book about her. So I called it The Invisible Woman because we went everywhere together. We traveled and everything, but nobody knew about her. So I called this The Invisible Woman. And at the beginning of the book, she's murdered by her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
So throughout this book, her and Morris is having a confrontation because he wasn't there to protect her. And he's explaining how much he loved her, and they got a full-blown relationship in this book. They're going out together, but she's a ghost. And his friends are like, who are you talking to? Are you crazy? Boom, 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 boom. So he meets up. They try to turn him on to another chick. So he's talking to this chick, and here's Delilah. She pops up out of nowhere. She's the ghost. The other girl can't see her, but she's like, Morris, who do you have in my bed, Morris? It's yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I wrote this. Let me tell you how I wrote this book. All of our text messages, I made the book of.
Oh, wow.
So like the conversations that you are hearing are the text messages between me and this chick.
Okay. So how did you come up with the name Delilah for the character?
She gave it to me.
Oh, so she knows about this book and it was done with her approval.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, let's find out about Delilah. Let's see this book trailer. So let's see what this brings to the table.
Yeah. It's from my peoples in the streets.
Now on that lady one.
Yeah.
That's not that one. That's not that one.
Come on, shut up.
Okay, that's the only one that I had in my inbox other than the first one you gave me. You only
sent you a third one. It probably didn't load yet. Oh man.
The third one didn't come through. Because it was only two in there. Let me go back and check. I mean, you can still talk. So what was that trailer that I just played?
That was the 608 Boys. That's coming out this summer. That's about my hometown and growing up in the country. So we did a lot of crazy stuff. When I grew up in the country, was in school. But it's basically bringing a little light onto my community of how I grew up and the things we did as teenagers and stuff like that. About how my small town, or the family oriented, little stuff that we did. Let's bring a little spotlight to where I grew up at.
Okay, because I checked my computer. It was only those two, the 608 Boys, and the first one that we did.
Yeah, it probably didn't load yet. Yeah, it probably didn't load.
I'm checking to see. I'm making sure that it's not in a different device. So let me make sure. Nope, them the only two I got.
Oh, it'll come in later. I'll share it to your page. I'll tag you in it.
Yes, tag me to my page. So we can go back to the 608 Boys and we can talk about that one since I don't have Delilah.
And actually, I used the AI for this. For that one.
That's a rough rider's road. Stop. Come on. Shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no. That's a rough rider's road. It's a move. That's running with you. If the week can't handle, break it up and dismantle. Light up like a candle, just cause I can't stand you. Put my on tapes, like you busting grapes. Think you holding weight, then you haven't met the apes. Drop, drop.
Okay, so you said this one
I was
was
getting a
made with
little hype
AI?
over here. Huh?
Right, me too. You said that one was made with AI? That whole video was made with AI?
Yep. Yep.
I love it. Well, you know I'm real big on AI. You see my little animated chick that be dancing at the beginning of the podcast and all over my page. I just got different versions of
I
me.
want to do that. Now I need to make my character. You got to help me with that.
Okay, just let me know, and I got you. Like I said, I
I
got you.
need to make my little character. Once I get my little character, I think that is so
my
cool.
characters. I call them my minis, and as you can see, I got a whole bunch of minis because I'm a female, so I need different hair and different outfits. I can't be using the same mini all the time for everything. So I got about 6. It's more than 6 of them. I probably got like 10 or 20, probably more. But they all do something different, and they all animate.
Yeah.
But most of them ain't. I got about 300 altogether, but most of them are not all of them are animated. But I got like 60 that's animated. So they all do something different. They blowing the kids, they clapping, they smiling, they doing something different.
Yes.
I mean, I like to be creative, and I like to be ahead of the game, and I'm real big on electronics and AI and all of that stuff. So,
Me too.
So,
Yes,
I'm right there
definitely.
with you. But I have never heard of the book trailer, so you taught me something. I appreciate that.
But you would never like my book trailers are so unconventional. Like
They are.
and then like with the podcast, I used to do like I started off doing my little trailers for my podcast, like different things. I make different beats, different little scenes and stuff, with the picture of the person on there. So then it was like, man, I seen other people doing our podcast. Like, oh, now they playing music on our podcast now. Huh? I want on our trailers, so, to let them people know. I'm like, okay. I'm setting the trend now. Sometimes I get mad, but at the same time, it's like, it's okay. They're looking, they're noticed. I mean, they're noticing, you know what I mean?
That means that you inspire somebody to do something. Because a lot of people hit me up and like, can you tell me how to do that? I'm like, no, but I can make you one, because to do my animations, I don't just use one app. I use multiple apps, and I actually have sold some. So why would I tell you how to make something that I created in my head and that I sell? Why not?
Like you see my book trailer right there?
Yeah.
Like you see that book trailer right there? I'm using 3 or 4 different apps, taking it and putting it all together, and then editing it in. It's not easy, you know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. Yes.
It's not easy.
This lady had me do a book trailer. They was coming out with poets, and it was they wanted to be an 80s theme with dance, jump, music, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, dang. She was like, I know you can do it. So I said, give me about a day or two. Let me find some things. Man, I went back. I seen some clips of some girls jump roping, doing double dutch. I added that. I added some Soul Train, some Heavy D and the Boys, Bobby, and I put it all together. And when I tell you, that was the best book trailer I ever made. She paid me really, because they couldn't believe it. So when her book was coming out, when her book and stuff was coming out, I was like, man, I didn't see the book trailer yet. And she was showing different trailers and stuff for the book or whatever. So I just went. I was like, well, maybe she didn't want to use it. She's like, Jessica, give me your book trailer. I wanted yours to say the best for last. I said, I'm like, wow. Yeah. I was like, wow.
When God gave you vision, that's something he gave you. He didn't give it to you to sell to everybody else. And they want it for free so that they can sell it and make money off of it. When it's something that you took time and created and perfected, instead of saying, let me support your business and have you and pay you to make you one. I want you to teach me what you do so I can make money off of doing it. No, I'm not doing that. Because that's like I sat there and spent money on apps and did this and that stuff and redid it and did it again until I got it right. Why would I give you the finished product? I'm not giving you the blueprint. I'm not giving you the blueprint to my finished product. No, I'm not doing that. But you can pay me to make you one, or
That's
Or
right.
if you figure it out on your own, I'll let you know if it's right or not. But I'm not gonna just give it to you because it wasn't
Nope.
given to me. My time cost. My money
Uh-huh.
costed me
And
because I had
and
to
the
spend
funny
money for
thing,
these apps.
exactly. And people say, how long it take you to do the Oh, it take me 5 minutes to come up with an idea and throw it all together. You're not
Yeah.
gonna be able to do it because I had, like you said, it took me time to learn how to master that. Like
Mm-hmm.
how to put the words on the screen and add different things. Like I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why this don't work? Why this ain't working? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? How to take that dial symbol off of it, how to pay the little 60.99 so that way I can throw my symbol on there now.
Right.
It's a lot that goes with it.
It's a lot that go into it. And when I can't sleep at night, because sometimes I just can't sleep, I just be up for no reason. And when I can't sleep, instead of just doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing, I'm making graphics. That's why my
Uh-huh.
page is so animated and updated, and I got so many different animation flyers. And I make them, not only do I make them for me, but if I got a friend that I know needs something and I need to practice, I'm just making because I need to practice. And
That's me.
you
Yep.
can use it.
Yep.
I mean, it's good enough for you to use, but for me, it's a
Uh-huh.
learning tool. I'm just trying to see if I can do this, and this.
That's right.
So that's what I do in my downtime. Like I had somebody laughing because a lot of people don't know this, but I'm addicted to this game called The Sims. And I
Yeah.
had stopped playing it for a while, but then I started back playing it. So, I'm into Southern Soul, and I know a lot of the people who make the music. I know a lot of the artists. So I was on the phone with one artist, and they said, what you doing? I said, I'm playing my game. And I was like, want to hear something? I was like, let me record it and send it to you. I took the game music out of the game and put a
Oh wow.
custom soundtrack into the game. So when my Sims cut on the radio, they're playing music that I really like. They're not playing that babble stuff that comes with the
Yeah.
game. They're playing artists
Awesome.
that I know and work with. Their music is in this game. If I cut it on now, you'll see that.
Yeah.
And they're like, how you do that? I was like, I'm smart.
That's it. That's it.
I mean, you just can't. I mean, if it's something I want to do, I'm gonna learn how to do it.
That's it.
And
Yep.
nobody
That's
wants
me.
to. I mean, I like playing my game, but I didn't want to hear the soundtrack, so I would play the game on mute. But now I can play the game and listen to music that I actually would listen to as my real self, not just my virtual
Oh,
self. I
yes.
said I'm gonna do a screen recorder and record it because it's just so funny. But that's just how I am. That's how my mind works. Like if I
Yeah.
can't sleep, I'm gonna do something to learn something that I know. Mostly it's gonna be graphics or something that I'm into. But
That's me at 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm at it.
yeah. Canva released something new. I'm like, ooh, let me see what they got on there. But not only am I using Canva, I'm using other apps too. So I'm gonna take something from
Right.
Canva, put it over here, put it over here. Shoot, man, with the amount of money I spend on apps, I could buy a new wig every week. I'm just
I know
saying.
that's right. Right. Exactly. You're
I'm just
crazy.
to the buck. Because that's another thing. I love my hair. I don't like looking the same. So with the amount of money that I spend, I could buy a new wig every week. But we're going into the 9:00 hour, so I'm gonna let you
I
go
know,
because I
right?
know you got to get started. But like I said, when you get your show up and running, let me know because I
Yeah.
don't mind being a guest on your show as well. We just gotta plan it so that
Awesome.
I'm available because I do got some
Okay.
bookings coming up out of town. If you in Atlanta around June, let me know because I'll be in Atlanta around June. The
I'm
end
gonna
of
be
June.
here. I'm gonna be here. I'm
Okay.
going to New York in July. I got invited to New York in July for they're having a book signing show up there. So I'm gonna go up there. No, it's August. It's in August. Well, I'm gonna stay with my family when I go up there. I'm not get all the hotel. I'm just gonna stay with my family.
Right,
But
right,
yeah,
right.
I think it's in August of whatever. So I'll be in New York in August. I want to try to make it to Chicago, Detroit this summer too, by the end of the
Okay.
summer. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm right
I
next to
always say I'm
Chicago. I'm
going
in
to Chicago,
Wisconsin.
but something always comes up when I get ready to go.
Chicago. Be careful. I mean, I'm right next to Chicago, so I do go to Chicago. But most of the time, when I do go to Chicago, I go to North Chicago, unless I
Yeah.
got something in the city. because I don't know what the boroughs are. I think that's what they call them. I don't know. That might be New York, but I don't know what gang territory is what, and I don't want to be caught in the crossfire. So I try to just
I
do
went to
whatever
boot camp in
event I have.
Chicago, baby.
Huh?
I went to boot camp in Chicago.
Yeah. Chicago look rough. I mean, I just do what I got to do and get home. I don't
know
kick
that's
it in
right.
Chicago like that. And if I do, it's downtown, because I mean, I see a lot of police down there. But if I got to do something in the city, like if I had a fashion show, because I used to model in Chicago a lot, I would do that fashion show, stop in a place that don't look too hood, give me something to eat, and head back to the freeway.
I know that's you better.
Yeah. Mostly White Castles, because they normally be in like the outskirts. So that's normally what I eat. One time I went to a hood place because it was recommended, and I was so scared. It was broad daylight, but it was scary. It was like a gyro place. It was like one of them yellow buildings that sell good food, the Vienna Red Hots and stuff. Don't get me wrong, the food was good, but I was scared. I was scared. Hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I will be down there. They are doing a casting call for the movie that I'll be in Atlanta working on. It's posted on my page. I was tagged in it. So I know you said you wanted to do some extra work and get some set experience. So maybe reach out. Tiffany, the lady who's doing it, she was on the live. So she did pop in for a minute and she did speak. So, reach out to her and probably get in as an extra. I'll be there all, I think she's shooting it for 5 days. So I'll be there all 5 days or until we complete.
Sweet. That's excellent. Awesome.
Yeah.
We definitely gonna have to hook up.
Okay, well, just let me know. And it was nice chatting with you. Thank you for working with me because I know I delayed your interview for 2 weeks. So I appreciate you for not giving up on me. But that first day, I had migraine.
People don't understand. For us authors and entertainers, life shows up.
It do.
We be lifing and trying to do both.
We be laughing and trying to do both. And like I said, I didn't want to be all like, oh, I just took some migraine medicine and I'm trying to do this interview live. I wanted to be able to be, to get the point across and not have people bored. Because when people get bored, people tap out. They're not gonna watch something that's boring. And I wanted to get it out. I think that we were able to make some amazing connections. We got some good feedback. You got some homework to do. You keep me updated and everything on the loop. Let me know when your interviews are. And if you need some guests, if you're willing to do Southern Soul artists, I know a couple. I know people that are into movies, and I know other people that are
love singers coming on there and singing.
So let me know because I got some people that I can send your way that have been on my podcast and are waiting for interviews on my podcast. And they like doing interviews. So like I said, if you need help with finding people to interview, I will extend that to you because guess what? Somebody did it for me. Somebody helped me book. I didn't even ask, but somebody was like, hey, I got so-and-so that want to book on your show. I got this person that want to book on your show. If you need more people. So each one helped one, and then that way we all win.
Awesome. Yes,
because it's bigger than just me. It's bigger than just me.
That's right.
My podcast is something that I want to do to bring light and to help elevate other people and what they got. But me, I'm a model. I'm an actress. I do a lot of Southern Soul stuff. I do Southern Soul promotion. I work with a lot of the artists. I do graphic design. And I do reels. I make my own reels and stuff like that. So with me having so much, I don't need to be selfish because I'm going to win regardless. All I have to do is stay focused and stay the course. Yeah.
That's it. Right.
And the more I give, the more I receive. People don't realize that the law of attraction is the law of giving. They work hand in hand.
Right.
You have to give in order to receive because when you give, you free yourself up to receive something better. So always be willing to give, whether it be knowledge or something. Now, I'm not going to be stupid now. I ain't going to give nothing that's going to help me pay a bill away.
That's right.
For free. Now, if you pay me for it and then you want to charge for it, that's one thing. But I'm not going to teach you how to do something for free that I can make money off of doing myself.
Yes, indeed. You're right. That's right.
But sharing guests on a podcast, that's not going to hurt me. So why not do it?
Right.
It's not going to hurt me. So why not? But if it's something that I'm using to make money, you just can't get a formula away. Like,
that's it.
Okay. I'm at the end of the day, I may be a little bougie, but I know the street stuff too. And
That's it.
the cook ain't gonna tell you the recipe. I'm just saying. Frank Lucas
That's
wasn't
right.
talking about he wasn't going around telling everybody how to make Blue Top now. You can buy Blue Top and put your stamp on it, but you ain't gonna know the recipe to Blue Top or Blue Magic, whatever it was called.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, well,
right.
it's 9:02, so I'm gonna let you go. Thank you again for being my guest, and I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as I did.
Oh, I did. I had an awesome time.
Well, that's good. Don't forget to reach out to the people for that casting call in Atlanta. If you don't see it on my page, let me know and I'll send it to you personally.
Okay.
So, like I said, even if it's just as an extra, it's good to get your feet in the door because you'll be networking with people in Atlanta and you have your project that you want to work on. And that may be somebody to help you get your stuff done because at the end of the day, we got to worry about a budget when we're doing films. And if you can get the less the budget is, the more money you pocket in profit. So you kind of want to keep your first movie budget low, but not too low that it's a crappy movie. You don't want to overextend yourself on the first movie. You want to make money off the first movie so that it can produce the second movie and the third movie and the fourth movie and the fifth movie. So you want to keep your budget low for the first movie. And then once you grow, you can, increase your budget. That's just a word of advice from the producer me. Because like I said, I do a lot. So I've done producer movie. I done worked on a movie with a big budget. I done worked on a movie with no budget. So I know how to do them both. And both movies are on their way. Fail My Pain had a budget of a Quest card, food stamps. That's the only money we had. That movie got a distribution deal. It's on its way. Ocean View had a $300 and some $1,000 budget. That movie is on the way. I was production assistant, producer on one, and on the other one, I was the assistant director, and I'm an actress in that movie. I'm an actress in both movies. But like I said, I got to see how both movies worked, and I got a perspective of both. So I can meet a movie in the middle, or I could do a movie with no budget, a movie with a big budget, or a movie with a budget in the middle. So that's why I was saying, as a first-time movie producer, I would keep my budget as low as possible. But if you have to spend money, invest in your crew. The most part of your budget should be your crew because you want to have your editing done properly. You want to have your lighting and your sound crisp. Because without your editing, without your sound, without the film quality, your movie is going to sit in the drawer because it has to be approved by Tubi distribution. It could be any distribution company, but it has to be like if you're going to shoot your movie, make sure you use Netflix approved cameras because it has to be up to a certain quality. So make sure that if you invest in anything as far as your movie, go with your crew. If you need recommendations on a crew, I know some people that got a whole bunch of movies on Tubi that I can send you to that I work with on a regular. But let your crew be the biggest part of your budget.
Okay.
Gotcha. If you have to, and with the location, you can use more than one location. You can use one location more than one way. Like if you got a scene that shoots in the kitchen and you got a scene that shoots in the bedroom, or if you have a house with a living room and a dining room that you're shooting at, the living room could be one house, the dining room could be another house. And then when you're at that location, you only show the dining room, you don't show the other room. So people don't know that they're in two different locations from watching that movie. Just educating you a little bit because I know you said this is your first movie.
It'll be the second one. It'll be the second one. The first one is on YouTube called The Player, Andrea Harris production. The first one is on YouTube. It's called The Player, Andrea Harris production. But yeah, this will be the second one. This is the one that's going to be a full length.
Okay, 30-minute movie. The short. Yeah, the second one. Right.
Yes.
So you know what to do there. But this one is,
I know what to do now.
To be bigger than YouTube, though.
I know what to do now.
Yeah. Yeah, because YouTube this podcast is on YouTube. So, YouTube don't have the stipulations that Tubi would have or Netflix would have or BET Plus would have or any of those other markets. So I'm just trying to educate you on what they look for in those markets because it's a bigger budget, a bigger platform. Like I said, this is going on Tubi. Not Tubi, this is going on YouTube. So there's nothing that you really need to do to put something on YouTube.
Right.
I could put
Right.
anything on YouTube and it'd be fine.
Oh yeah.
But when you go into distribution deals and mass media like that, like not to say that YouTube isn't mass media because it is, but I'm talking about a higher grade of mass media, professional mass media, because you got Hollywood movies on Tubi now. So you know
yeah,
that raised the bar for the quality of movies that independent people have to put on Tubi.
And
So
I
can't
gotta
just
do
put
like,
anything on Tubi.
I think for me to put it on YouTube, the first movie, I gotta do the fly, I gotta do the banner over. Some other things they want me to do. I gotta make at least a 30, add 2 more minutes to it. I could do that in credits or whatever, but it ain't nothing to do. I just gotta sit down and do it one day.
Right.
So I can start making a little money. You know what I mean?
So it can start making a little money. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to tell you that really quick so that you know what to do when you get to that point and you don't have anybody that's trying to, work with you or whatever, telling you what to do, thinking you don't know anything. Because people use what we don't know against us sometimes.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I say, no matter what capacity I work in on set, I know almost everything that the director knows.
Okay.
When they hire me as an assistant director, production assistant, whatever I am, you're not just getting a production assistant or an assistant director. You're getting a strip supervisor. You're getting somebody that can help with casting. You're getting somebody that know a little bit about wardrobe, along with everything else that you need me to do. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop with me, and it's good because it keeps me employed. I'm just saying. Because why not have this person that know how to do all these things than to pay 5 people to do each of these things?
That's it. You get them all in one.
You get them all in one. So I'm kind of employable. Like, even when I was doing music management, my artist had a music manager. My artist had somebody who could do his graphics. I did all the graphic work, flyers, promotional stuff, helped with the reels, video editing, all of that stuff. Now, I'm not a professional video editor, but I know how to do something.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Versus having to hire somebody to do all of that. You had just me, and I did all of that. So, it's good to know stuff, and it's good to be usable and needable, because as long as you're needable and usable and willing to learn, because I don't know everything. There are some things that I can learn, which is why I like working on the bigger set, because I know how to do a movie with no budget. But I learned so much when I did the movies with the budget, because we didn't have the stress of trying to figure out how we gonna fund this or how we gonna pay for this, because we didn't have that. We had it. We knew what to do as far as what was going to get paid for and how. So I didn't have to worry about that as far as I did with the no budget movie.
Right.
But I love them both the same. I learned from both of them. Because the no budget movie got me booked for the budget movie. So I ain't going to even knock that no budget movie. But okay, then talk to you later.
Hey, make sure you send me the link to your YouTube too, so I can subscribe to it. Okay.
Yes, sir. I gotta send my link to so many people, because a lot of people been asking me to do that, but then I got busy and forgot. So thank you for reminding me, because I'm gonna send it to you and I'm gonna send it to Pat as well, because I'm actually part of the Boom Boom Room family, but Boom Beats family as well. So I'm gonna get that to you.
Cool.
I wear many hats. Dude, I'm a DJ. I'm part of the Rock Block DJ with a block, baby. Like I said, I'm always going to be in a position to where I'm needed, because I know so much and I do so much.
That's a blessing.
It's a blessing. And if I don't know it and you ask me about it, I'm going to know about a week. It's over with, so that I can know it. So I can come back and say, you mean so-and-so. Okay, I know how to do that. So yeah, that's where I am with that. But okay, then. Have a nice day. I'm going to get that link to you as soon as we end this live, because if I don't, I'm going to
enjoy your night, and thank you for having me on the show again.
You're welcome.